You can select any formula cell, or any cell that is referenced by a formula cell, and then trace arrows that point to either its precedent or dependent cells from the selected cell. When you do this, Excel draws blue arrows either from the selected cell to its dependent cells, or from the precedent cells to the selected cell, depending on which button you choose from the buttons available in the Formula Auditing button group on the Formulas tab within the ribbon. If the precedent or dependent cells are on another worksheet, then you will see a black arrow that points to a worksheet icon displayed versus a blue arrow. You can double-click on the black arrow to view the Go To dialog box, which should point to the worksheet reference. You can then click on the reference and click the OK button to jump to the referenced cells in the other worksheet. To view the precedent cells for a selected formula cell, first select the formula cell. Next, click the Trace Precedence button in the Formula Auditing button group on the Formulas tab in the ribbon. This will cause Excel to trace arrows back to the precedent cells that are being referenced by the formula in the selected cell. In some cases, these cells may also be formulas. If that is the case, then you can continue to click the Trace Precedence button in order to view multiple levels of precedent cells. So in this way, you can work backward to discover which cells are referenced by the formula to perform its calculations. This is handy for determining which cells may be causing errors or inaccuracies in your worksheet formulas. Tracing dependent cells is the same procedure in reverse. You simply click on a cell from which you want to trace the dependent cells, and then click the Trace Dependence button in the Formula Auditing button group on the Formulas tab in the ribbon. Excel will draw arrows to any cells that need the value calculated by the selected cell in order to function. You can click the Trace Dependence button as many times as needed in order to trace multiple levels of dependency from the selected cell if needed. Now, to remove all of the auditing arrows that Excel draws in a worksheet, first select the worksheet from which you want to remove the auditing arrows. Next, click the Remove Arrows button that appears in the Formula Auditing group on the Formulas tab in the ribbon. This will remove all arrows from the selected worksheet. It's important to note that you must clear the traced arrows in each individual worksheet separately. Also note that if you only wish to remove the last level of precedent or dependent arrows that were drawn in a worksheet, you can click the drop-down button to the right of the Remove Arrows button, and then choose either Remove Precedent Arrows or Remove Dependent Arrows from the button's drop-down menu to remove the last level of precedent and dependent arrows that were traced.